Hello, I'm Christina, an artist, illustrator, and coloring book author. I'm back with a new page to share some more tips and tricks for your cozy coloring pages. I've created this new page of clothing for you, and I'll leave a link to where you can download it below, but feel free to use these effects on any page you'd like to color. We're going to start with a leopard print fabric effect, and surprisingly, I've never done this one before. I'm going to jazz it up and do it in pink. And I'm starting here with a light pink colored shirt, and I'm just using a slightly darker color around the edges for more definition. If you'd like to know exactly which colors I use, I'll list them in the description down below. I'm going to color the collar of my shirt a darker shade of pink, and the inside of the shirt, which is right behind the collar, will be one shade darker than the front of the shirt. A leopard print pattern is very easy to color. It's really just a bunch of blobs. I'm starting with my mid-tone pink, and I'm making circles over the front of the shirt. And I'm letting those dry and then coming back with my collar color and making broken circles or rosettes around those lighter pink blobs. Sometimes I go almost all the way around the circle. Sometimes I break it up into two pieces. Variety is key here. And I also take my darker color and make tiny little dots in some of the open areas of the shirt. I loved creating this pattern, and I think I'll use it a lot in the future. Next, we're going to try another effect I haven't tried before, the denim effect, and we're starting with our colorless blender. It's typically marked 0 in your marker sets, and you can't really see it here, but I'm going over the entire front of these jeans with the colorless blender and letting it stay wet before I add my lightest shade of blue. I have not done the pockets or the waistband yet. I'm taking my lightest blue and coloring right over that wet colorless blender layer. You can see that there's already texture popping out of it. It makes it very splotchy, and that's the whole point of layering that colorless blender layer first. We're going in again while the blue is still wet with the colorless blender and going right on top of everything because we want more of that splotchy texture that sort of resembles denim. Once we're finished with this layer, while this is still wet, we're going in with our darker shade of blue to add a little bit of shading and definition. But keep your lighter blue color nearby because as we're shading, we're going in with our lighter blue color on top in the middle of the first layer and the darker layer to make a better transition, a better shade, a better gradient. This is where blending practice comes in, and I know I've promised you we need to do a blending video. I really love using brush tips for this part because it helps blend the darker and lighter colors together better, and you can use this flicking motion I'm doing now with my marker, and that helps it blend better as well. So you see I did my darker layer and this is my lighter color again, and it just softens those edges and helps them run in together. When I was new to blending, I was always very unsure of myself right at this point when that darker color comes in because it stands out so much from that lighter layer. And then you come in the middle and it starts looking a little bit better, but you don't want to overwork it too much. You want to just have faith that it will blend together as it dries. Let me know if you've ever colored denim before. I can't believe I haven't. I was really surprised at myself. I'm doing the same techniques with the pockets and waistband. And speaking of waistband, this doesn't have to be a part of the jeans. It could be a part of the shirt. That's totally up to you. To add a little more visual interest to my jeans, I'm going to add some frayed areas on the legs. And for that, we'll need our colorless blender again. I'm making splotches right where I think those fray marks will be. And I'm going over each area twice just to lift as much color as I can off of that area. Next, after that blender has dried, I'm taking my white gel pen and making little flicking motions from side to side and up and down on these spots where the colorless blender is. And these lines represent the thread that shows up when you rip your jeans. These lines can be very imperfect and messy, and they look better when they are not straight side to side and up and down. You can make little marks and bigger marks. And when you're finished, you take your lighter color of blue and go around the white gel pen to darken the edges. Next, we're moving on to a lace dress, and it doesn't look like it, but I'm coloring my dress a dark navy blue. You'll be able to see it better as it dries. I love the lace effect because it's almost like an optical illusion on the page. Two of the skirts here will be clear and lacy, and you'll see it in a moment. I have to draw this skirt in first, so right here, I'm going to add a line because this top skirt is going to be translucent lace. The bottom skirt is also going to be transparent, so we'll need to color in areas of the jeans that we'll see underneath these lace skirts. I'm using the same technique I showed you before with my colorless blender and two blue shades. When the jean color dries, I will need to go over that pencil line with a black fine liner so it looks like one of the coloring page lines. I'm going to darken up the fabric inside of the dress, and now we'll focus on this area underneath the lace skirt. You need to be careful not to color over that pencil line because that separates the background and the skirt underneath the lace, and you'll see what I mean in a moment. Remember that the skirt you're coloring in now goes all the way down to that second layer. That first layer, that first border, is part of the lace, so you need to go all the way down to that second layer. Now that the jeans are dry, we'll be using our black fine liner to separate the jeans from the background. Before we can move on to coloring in the lace, we're going to need to color the background. My lace will have botanical elements on top of it, so my background needs to be colored and dried before I can draw those in. I'm using a soft light pink for my wall color, and you'll see that the lace that I draw right on top of that wall is kind of hard to see. It will be easier to see the lace that's on top of the dark blue dress, so you might want to keep that in mind when picking out your wall color. Let's get started on the lace. I'm using my favorite white gel pen. It's a Jelly Roll size 10, and I will admit this step takes a little while. I had to do 2 or 3 layers over my dark black lines, and I had to wait in between layers because the Jelly Roll needs time to dry before you can draw a second layer over it. Feel free to use your favorite white marker or pen. I recommend using the thinnest one that you can use comfortably for the lace effect. I decided to draw some of my lace designs on the bodice of my dress as well as the skirts. And I'm coloring simple vine elements stemming up from the middle of the dress. Don't feel like you have to use this exact design. I went and looked up different lace ideas online, and I chose this one. But in the past, I've done simple designs like polka dots and easy flowers, and sometimes just mesh lines, and they all turn out really well. By the way, I would love to see the different ways you decide to color in this page. Please feel free to tag me at Charming Coloring on Instagram. And while I don't visit Instagram every day, when I do, I would love to take a peek at the beautiful things you all are working on. Oops, I almost forgot to draw over this pencil line. I'll add it in with my fine liner before I start coloring over it with lace. I decided to add a little scalloped edge to all of my lace borders, And while I'm letting all of that dry, I'm gonna go over to this long flowy dress and color it pink. Now while this long dress dries, I'm going back to my blue dress and coloring in the lace with a white colored pencil. You can see here how much more the lace stands out over that darker blue color than the light pink background. Our lace dress is done, so we can move on over to that long pink dress again and do the easiest effect of this video, the zebra effect. This is yet another animal print I've never done, and it was the simplest one I've done in a long time. I found a picture of a girl online in a onesie that was zebra print, and I just translated it to this pink dress. Hers was actually blue and white, and I went with hot pink to match the other colors on this page. When I practiced this page once before, the first time I made this dress leopard print with traditional leopard colors. That turned out really well too. So the sky really is the limit on this page. Mix and match these effects to your heart's content. In fact, I plan on coloring this page again, so keep an eye out on my Instagram and I'll share it with you when it's done. I'm adding simple shadows to this dress where the fabric folds over on itself. But shading and shadows aren't really that important to me for this page. If you want more information on shading and shadows, you can check out some of my other videos on YouTube. For our final effect, we're going to draw in a patchwork quilt heart on this sweater. You, of course, do not have to draw a heart. Any patch will work. You can even do an all-over quilt pattern on this sweater. But since my page is full of pink, a heart felt like the perfect shape to add to this sweater. After drawing on my patch, I'm going in with my sweater color. Mine is a dark blue, and I'm carefully coloring around the heart, keeping my edges wet so there's no streaks on the sweater. I wanted to take a minute to say thank you for those who read my most recent community post and offered your words of support. That really meant the world to me. And it looks like everyone is very interested in another physical book. Let me know if you'd like me to include this page in my next book, and I'll add it in. For the sleeves and neck and waistband of the sweater, I'm using a lighter purpley color and adding some slight shading just with the same color right on top near the seams. For the quilted patch, I've chosen colors that are all over the page to fill in these little tiny bits of quote-unquote fabric that make up the body of the heart. Quilts are one of my favorite things to color. You probably know that if you've seen my cozy bed coloring page video. And the great thing about this effect is you can add it to just about anything because it's a patch. You could add it to the jeans or on the dress or on the shirt. Quilt patches are fabulous. My biggest tip would be to wait for each individual color to dry before coloring in a color right next to it so they don't bleed into each other. And also wait for your colors to dry before adding the fun design elements on top. I'm using fine liner, acrylic marker, and alcohol marker to add my designs. The most important part of this effect is the stitching. So I'm going in with my white gel pen and adding a border to the outside of the patch and the inside borders of each fabric piece. I'll also add little stitch marks all around the sides and on all the seams to make it look like it was sewed on. And to make the patch look like it's sitting on top of the sweater, I'm adding a border around the heart with the same color I used for the sweater. I'll use that same color to add slight shadows underneath the sleeves and the neck of the sweater. Our page is finished. Here's my sweater, and you'll notice I added the knit effect on top of it as well. You can see that in my first special effects video. Here's our leopard print and our denim effect with the rips on the legs of the jeans. I've also made corduroy boots, and of course I can never pass up some glitter on the page. I colored in my purse denim as well. This is our zebra print dress, as well as our dark blue lace dress. And if you're wondering, I used yellow alcohol marker and yellow colored pencil for the lights. Thanks so much for joining me. I had a great time coloring with you. I hope to see you soon. Take care.